What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 332. That's been verified of the episode.
Whoa. You're not throwing that on me.
Been verified.
No, he asked, and I said yes. After a few beers, I will say 332.
Episode 332 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. It's Kyle and Ben, and we're ready to rock and roll. We're here live at Bunkers. We've already had burgers, had some other good beverages, and we're going to talk about it. And we're also going to talk about the PGA Championship. But before we do, we got to give a shout out to Bet Online, the #1 sports betting website in the country. Sign up today. Use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV. Get a 50% welcome bonus. Give them $100. They're going to give you 50 back on top of that to play with. Tons of stuff to bet on right now. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB, right in the heart of MLB. College golf. I don't even know if you can bet on college golf, but you could bet on PGA golf.
You can.
You probably could have got some good betting odds.
We would have won our bet, the field versus Rory.
We would have won that one if that was on. That probably would have been on there, but you definitely need to check it out. Bet Online, tons of sports, tons of lines, every single possible way you can think to bet and have fun. You can there. Easy deposits, easy payouts. Check them out. Bet Online is where the game starts. Ben, this weekend, and we're going to talk about the actual PGA Championship, but I think it's probably one of the better majors, not the PGA Championship in general, but this particular tournament was one of the more entertaining majors in maybe quite a few years.
Oh, I would venture to say that.
From numerous ways, and I think one of the more the most interesting storyline of the whole thing obviously was Scottie Scheffler, world's #1 golfer and probably world's #1 just guy in general.
Well,
yeah. He gets arrested, and we're not going to go through the whole storyline, but he gets arrested, gets out within an hour of his tee time, makes it back to the course, and then plays a really good round, and he's right in the hunt of it. Birdie's his first hole back, and that was his talking point the whole rest of the tournament and everything that happened. And I mean, we're just going to start off with, like, how does this happen? How does something like this, Louisville, Kentucky, I don't imagine there's just I know you got horse racing and stuff like that, but as far as activities around Valhalla, I can't imagine there's ever anything remotely this size, remotely this important, which actually probably, that probably weighed into the tragedy, the fatality is because of this huge event. But there's just not a lot of action, I feel like, in Louisville, Kentucky. How does something like this happen?
Well, let me preempt it. You and I discussed this before. They've already been on watch, the Louisville Police Department. This was the incident with Breonna Taylor a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the shooting that took place.
Right.
And so they've been under a microscope. The department has.
That's a really good point that I didn't even think about.
As a matter of fact, it's even been said, which is kind of odd, there has been a warning put out there that all police, upon any arrest because of that incident, must always have a body cam on.
Yeah.
It wasn't on.
Well, I got a conspiracy theory on that, and we'll talk about that. But seriously, how does something like this happen? Look, I know Scottie is very unassuming. Okay.
Yeah.
If he was just out in a crowd, you really have to be a golf person to know that's the #1 player in the world. It's not like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods could be recognized by people that never even watch golf. He has that sort of star power about him, but Scottie just doesn't yet. Now he may eventually, and he may now, but
after that mug shot.
But how is this not? I don't know.
I told you. Okay. Here's where I differ in opinion with some people. Some people said, well, how do they prepare for something like this? I said, well, they go through scenarios. They did not know that the gentleman was going to try to cross the street and get hit by a car and die.
Yeah. That was probably not one of the things they practiced.
The scenario that they do practice is if there's inclement weather, if there's an incident, if there's a car wreck.
I mean, it looked like it was a very busy highway.
Right. And so they do practice, what do we do in that scenario? And honestly, every cop knew what to do except the one that was banging on the windshield, because the first cop did his job and
waved him through
and let Scottie through.
Yeah.
It was the second guy that missed the meeting where they went over scenarios of, hey, any guy that comes through in one of the PGA Tour rentals, they have got either a magnet or a sticker on the side.
It was a sticker. There was a P right on the driver's side window, from what I understand. So like
the one he was beating on?
The driver, the windshield,
Yeah.
right where the driver sits, up in the corner was a big P.
For PGA.
For
I guess.
player.
For player.
Yeah. I mean, they had his own car. It's like, here's my thing. I'm the kind of guy, when the crowd goes one way, I'm like, usually the crowd's wrong. You know, so I'm like, what's the angle here? I'm trying to see it from the cops' point of view. And I'm struggling so hard at finding like how it made sense for him to go ape, basically, and do what he did. I'll tell you what I think. This is honestly, after thinking about it, like every single scenario you could possibly go through, I think this is what happened. And you
Okay.
tell me what you think. I think one cop obviously waved him through. This particular cop, Officer Gillis, whatever his name is,
That's it, Gillis.
stopped him or something like that. Maybe he didn't see that. He stopped him.
Because we're a week away from seeing Shane Gillis do it on Saturday Night Live, probably.
And maybe he didn't notice right away, and I think he either grabbed the handle of this door, or he grabbed the windshield, not the windshield, the rear view mirror or something, and Scottie kept going, and it made him fall.
Okay, that's a great conspiracy theory.
And the reason, and then he falls and then goes aggro.
He's embarrassed.
He's embarrassed because he fell in the rain. He soiled his pants. Ruined $80 worth.
$80.
Which that's another piece that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And then he gets up and he's like, okay, now I'm going to flex. And then everything that happened, you saw what happened.
Okay, so I have a different theory, and it's because there have been eyewitness accounts that have already come about, one of which is that ESPN reporter that was there,
I forget his name already.
that he did not grab the car.
Darlington. Jeff Darlington.
Darlington. Scottie did not drag him. Scottie went forward probably no more than 5 miles per hour. He went to chasing after him and fell down. And they think the embarrassment of the fall caused him to go bananas.
So my theory comes from the whole attempted to attach himself.
But that wasn't a theory. That's what Darlington. They
He
said he
wrote-
never
no,
reached. They
it's not
said
a
he never
theory.
reached for it.
But he wrote in the police report, I attempted to attach.
Yes.
He attempted to attach himself
Yes.
and failed. So that's why I thought it could be something as simple as I'm grabbing the door handle and I'm like, hey, stop what you're doing, whatever. And then he pulls off and I fall down. But, I mean, if that's also something. He was running after and could have tripped and fell because the pants were serious for him.
He put it in his police report.
Dude, let me tell you how not serious I can take you as a police officer. If you say you if your pants are in the police report, I have a big
You're trying to
issue.
get reimbursed through a police report.
That is, to me, that was nothing more than I've got to try to beef up how bad it looks. Like, he scraped my wrist and bumped my knee, and he also ruined my pants, so it's serious.
Also, Darlington's report, which I thought was hilarious, is when another officer came over and said, are we supposed to know that guy?
Who did we just arrest?
Yeah, who did we just arrest? And he was like, Scottie Scheffler, the #1 golfer in the world.
What kind of conversation do you think was had I'll tell you this, I don't even mind sharing it. Got a friend of mine. I'm just going to share. I got a friend of mine who texted and said that he has a friend who's a murder detective in Louisville,
Okay?
and said, this guy is a total screw up. We put him on traffic detail, and he still, whatted it up.
He still screwed up.
Yeah, but in a much more colorful.
I'm sure he did
Much
say it
more
in much
colorful
more
word.
colorful. Yeah.
The charges were serious. I mean, assault of a police officer, that's a Class C felony. You're talking
Yes. It's jail time.
You're talking multiple years in prison.
Up
Reckless.
up to 10 years.
Yeah, reckless driving. What was there was two more. There was one that was not obeying a police officer's commands, reckless driving, and criminal mischief. 4 serious charges all stacked on top of
You
each
know
other.
what on there?
What's that?
Destruction of property. $80 pants.
No, he wrote that in the assault. You know,
Is that what that is?
that was the assault on the police officer. I'm just like, I don't know. Again, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but it's really hard to find how this guy acted. Even if Scottie may have either, I don't even want to say broken a rule. Broken a rule is not the right term. Like, maybe if he I question when Scottie said, I didn't know I was a police officer. Like, dude, there's police lights everywhere. I'm sure, like, people in front of you had already, we know golfers in front of him had gone in, so we know people have texted.
Well, I'm not defending him, but he did get passed through by the first one, so he probably wasn't sure that the second one was.
Maybe so, but still, even if he knew it was a police officer, everything that transpired, throwing him up against the car, which was from the eyewitness report from Jeff Darlington, slammed him up against the car, was cussing basically, cursing him out, and cuffed him, and then you had the I guess it was a deputy or somebody else that said, essentially, we don't care who he is, he's going to jail right now, kind of thing.
Oh, because, that guy was.
Even that guy did not know who it was. But when the owner of Valhalla essentially pays your bail and brings you back to the course.
Oh. Okay, so here's what told me a lot that day. Number one, I had a police officer who's here locally. He's the one that told me this. He said it told him a lot when he arrived in basically the NARC vehicles. He didn't show up in a police escort. He came in.
There's a Range Rover.
Like the Range Rover. Also, a buddy of mine that lives in Louisville told me a lot when 2 of the individuals that rode back with him were 2 members. Well, one was the owner. Another was a prominent member. Could have been a judge. We don't know.
Oh, more than likely it was someone in the district attorney, maybe a district attorney.
Yeah, DA or somebody. And so he said, that's what he told me. He goes, it tells me a lot that 2 of the prominent members were riding back with him. In other words, they went down there and said, this goes away now.
Yeah, which is where my theory comes in about the body cam. So I think the body cam does exist, but the rumors started coming out that they were going to drop the charges, which they probably will. So they're going to drop the charges, and you'll never see the body cam footage.
You know what else you're never going to see?
What's that?
A tournament in Louisville.
I don't know. Valhalla's pretty.
No, their contract is up this year. That's what they were talking about today. Like,
But do they have like a 4-year? I mean,
no, they got to re-up with the PGA. Like, they don't have anything in the future planned.
Well, it was 10 years. How it was 10 years from the last one. So like how far out do they plan these?
I don't know. I'm just saying right now.
I bet you it comes
they do not
back.
have a contract moving forward.
It's too historic. I mean, you've had Ryder Cups.
No, I agree. I'm just saying if the charges stick, don't plan.
They're
on
not
seeing
sticking. There's no way.
Don't plan on seeing any tournaments in Valhalla anytime soon.
You're listening to this on Wednesday. He was scheduled to be arraigned, which I didn't know you didn't have to be there for that.
Scheduled to be arraigned on Tuesday. It's been pushed back to June 3rd.
Well, it'll be dropped before then. But
you know why they're doing that too, by the way.
Why is that?
They're looking to see if there is some body cam evidence that's out there. They're looking to see, they're making sure their rear end's covered before. That's the last thing Louisville Police Department wants to do is go, everything's good, we're dropping the charges, and then all of a sudden that video leaks online on YouTube.
And maybe Scottie was.
And Scottie was sideways and yelling at the officer and drug him 10 feet, and they'll be like, this is a bad look too.
Yeah.
So they're covering all their bases before they do the arraignment. And I got a sneaky suspicion with it being on the 3rd, they probably are going to make sure their bases are covered. And before the 3rd, it's probably going to be dropped.
Yeah. He may pay a traffic fine.
Who needs to be worried is Scottie that if it ain't dropped by the
3rd? They're not going to.
That may mean they got something.
There's no way.
Now, Scottie's attorney, who is a local defense attorney there in Louisville, who's very apparently well known for winning a lot.
Yeah. He said we will not be pleading.
Yeah, we will not be pleading. So apparently he's got something, because they said there have been people that have said that know him in that area. he doesn't do that unless he knows he's got a winner.
Oh yeah.
So
Not most. I mean,
when he came out and said that, when he said we ain't playing, I
No.
thought, oh, they got a winner.
he's got the goods.
Yep, he's got
Yeah.
the goods. You know what? He may have the body cam footage,
He may.
and he may say, okay, let's go to trial. Guess what?
Or-
I've got an Exhibit A.
Or I have a buddy who said that his friend was on that bus. So the whole situation
Yeah.
started because a bus was like abandoned by the driver. I assume the driver got out to go figure out where the heck I'm supposed to go, and the police were investigating it. And then all this happened right around this bus. And he said that, my buddy was sitting right there. He was videoing the whole thing. Now I want to be like, well, send me the video. I want to watch. But
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Somebody on that bus didn't come forward and say, "Look, I got the whole thing from start to finish."
They may have sold it to that defense. That defense attorney is worth millions.
Yeah, for sure.
He may have bought the footage.
Yeah.
And said, you know what? We'll go to trial. You guys pony up. Let's go.
Wild scenario. It was so funny that
And then he shoots 5 under.
shoots 5 under. Birdie's his first hole
Yeah.
without his real. Said he stretched in the jail,
Yeah.
which is. Can you imagine? I saw this funny tweet. The Twitter was unreal. I didn't get anything done at work on Friday. I scrolled Twitter and laughed my you-know-what off.
Oh, with all
the memes were amazing.
And listen, kudos to you two gentlemen that already had the prison photo up. I don't know who y'all know in the jail that sent that to you,
And then got the shirts made.
and then got the shirts made
Oh,
before
man.
the round even began.
Yeah.
Bro, I looked, and the website that I went to already sold out. I wanted one. I was going to buy one.
Think about this. From the time it happened to the time he teed off was less than 4.5 hours. So he got booked. He got arrested. He got booked. His mug shot went out. Somebody had a shirts printed, and the dudes were there wearing them like same day.
Opening tee shot.
Opening tee shot. They were there waiting
Yeah,
on it.
they were there and got shown. It was those two guys, and then more showed up throughout the day. There were more people that showed up with different pictures on theirs.
I can't believe they put him in a jumps. He should sue the crap out of.
Do you know the best meme that I saw the entire day?
What?
Was,
I want to say my favorite.
Wasn't necessarily a meme. But you know how Ricky used to wear the all orange?
Yeah.
They said he has the opportunity to do something so funny.
Yeah, just give Scottie your arm.
Just-
Now Scotty's about one whole foot taller than Ricky.
Yeah,
so
but I
that
mean,
was-
Scottie had an opportunity to like go buy all orange or something and wear it out there.
this was the best one because I just picture this and it would be so accurate. It was a video and I'm like, think about it. Did they just put Scottie in just like a regular holding area with like all the rest of the?
He was in a single cell, he said. Single
So,
holding cell.
so, but if it was just like a regular, like general population, just it was basically a guy who was a Louisville student who got put in the drunk tank.
Yes.
And he's like passed out, and then he kind of like wakes up, and he's like, wait a minute, and he's like rubbing his eyes real good. He's like, what? Is that Scottie Scheffler? Am I still drunk?
Can you imagine?
Dude, I thought it was you. That
That-
was the funniest one to me. I laughed so
that
hard.
honestly, not that I'm ever advocating getting arrested for DUI or public intox. I will say, if you get arrested and you're in the same pokey when you wake up as a PGA Tour member that you know that's
Yeah.
the number one golfer in the world, that's the only time that you can literally brag the rest of your life about going to jail.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
I mean, could you imagine if I showed up and said, Kyle,
You're not gonna.
I was
believe
in Louisville this weekend. You're never going to believe what happened to me. I had a little too much to drink on Thursday night.
it. Yeah. Me and
Guess
Scotty
who I
got-
woke up beside?
Me and Scotty got tattoos together in the holding cell.
Guess who I woke up beside on Friday morning?
Amazing.
Number one golfer in the world. And you'd be like, I don't believe it.
I mean, nobody believed it. It was so outrageous. Another great tweet was Max Homa said, I got beat by a guy who was literally in prison on
That
Friday
was
morning.
fantastic. The fact that they leaned into it.
I was literally in prison. I got beat by a guy who was literally in jail. on
There were a
Friday
couple
morning.
that already started saying, they started hashtagging Free Scotty, a couple
yeah,
of players during
Minwoo Lee was, I think,
Yeah,
was the
Minwoo
first
Lee
one.
did one. I did think it was hilarious that they asked Marty Smith from ESPN, they asked him to describe his demeanor because if you notice, he was one of the ones that helped open the door
Yeah,
And
he's running after he was running after the Range Rover.
And so he followed Scottie inside. First off, I thought it was hilarious what Scottie said to him. Marty asked him something. And
he said, Marty goes, "You got any comments, Scottie?" And Scottie goes, "Love you, Marty."
Yeah, I love you, Marty. Well, then Marty said that he goes inside, and like, of course, it's in a weather delay, so a lot of players are sitting inside, and they all just kind of look up at him, and he
It's
goes,
got to be like really quiet.
and he goes, "What's up, guys?" That's all he said. And then he
and everybody
and
probably
then
just busted out laughing.
And then he goes and he gets breakfast and sits down and eats, and like nobody knows what to say to him.
Yeah, you have no idea. The most surreal story I think I've ever seen for a PGA Championship. So it was wild. I predict, obviously, I think everybody predicts that the charges will be dropped, and you'll never hear about this again. You'll probably have a big apology, and I still think Valhalla's going to get tournaments again. It may be a while. It'll be 10+ years. I dug the course, and I dug the whole everything about it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, wild story. So we're going to switch it over and actually talk about that. Talk about the actual
tournament itself.
Actual tournament right now.
Where Scottie shot himself in the. How important is Teddy?
Teddy, yeah, so Scottie shoots 4 under, 5 under, and then Teddy has his kid's graduation or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
which was pre-planned.
Pre-planned.
I mean, we knew that going in.
Missed Saturday. Scottie shot his only over par round in like almost 3/4 of a year, 256 days, one day, and then he played really good again. He shot 4 under again, I think, maybe. On
maybe
Sunday.
5 under on Sunday.
4 or 5 under on Sunday. So, but Xander Schauffele wins in dramatic fashion. We all were waiting for that. We're all waiting for that moment where he just wilted, but he never did. He made putt. That's the biggest thing. He made putt after putt after putt that he had to make.
I told Kyle he's had 12 top 10s in majors.
It was coming.
Clearly, he was due. I thought he would wilt. I thought Colin would actually make a charge. That's who I took my pick for Sunday. What a terrible pick that was because he
shot like even par.
Yeah, shot even, or maybe even one over.
I think he may have had 36 putts. Like he putted the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, he shot even because the only birdie he had was 18.
Yeah,
he had one bogey and one birdie. So it was. I will say this, Kyle. Here's one of my biggest gripes that I have post PGA Championship. There have been a lot of people that have talked about how they don't like it, the high scores. They don't like how easy the course was. First and foremost, course wasn't easy. The course was long. If you're a regular golfer and you play the tips, there's no way you're able to get home in 2 on a 512-yard par 4. So it's not easy. It may be easy for them, but it's not easy. Number 2, at the end of the day on Sunday, there were a good 10 golfers that had a chance to win the golf tournament.
Oh,
and so as
great.
long as that's the case, the ones I don't like are the ones that you just got 2 guys running away with it. And so they're only going to show those 2 guys playing the entire time. Here, you got Bryson in the mix. You've got Schauffele, who, of course, is there. They're hoping that Morikawa, because he kept parring holes and he kept hitting the ball fairly close and not making putts, so they're still showing him, but he's not making a charge. You got Lowry, who had the day before where he shot 9 under to tie the course record along with Schauffele. And you got all these other guys that are just McIntyre, who I've never heard of before, who I was cussing on Friday night because he's the one that caused the delay because they had 5 groups backed up behind him when he was taking his drop out of the concession stand. And I knew they were going to blow the horn to make them stop. And I'm like, bro, just hit it.
Yeah.
Like, just
Let's
get
figure
one
it
in
out.
play.
Get one back in. Just punch it back out and play.
Just get in play. But they took forever. So 5 people are sitting on the tee box waiting on him. Imagine how pissed they were on Saturday morning. They had to all wait because they couldn't finish.
Here's my thing. People were griping about the course. It was too easy. Well, if it's too easy, then why was it the best players in the world, basically, that were at the top, at the end?
Yes.
It was the best. It was one of the best leaderboards we've had in forever. Like, it was the best players rose to the top. Like, they were the ones hitting the shots. They were the ones hitting the drives, hitting the putts. And on top of that, like, we're just, like, forgetting, or, like, I don't think we're forgetting. We're just purposely not talking about the fact that it absolutely pissed on Louisville
Yes.
for 2 straight days. and the course was just drenched.
Yeah.
So it was soft. So when I can hit a 4-iron, 230 yards, and it's gonna stop
On the green.
Then I'm gonna shoot low if I can do that.
I mean,
I can't do that, but they can.
18, they're hitting 3 and 5 woods into the green on 18, and it's not releasing more than
No,
7 feet.
I mean, now it does have a little backstop, but still,
Yeah,
like
but
it's
yeah.
taking. It's almost like it takes one hop and it'll stop if it hits the green because it was so wet. So
Yeah.
we're just like pretending that didn't happen. And just because the fairways are wet, there's zoysia. They drain. That's another thing. They drain
Yes.
really well. So if you hit the fairway, it's going to be sitting up on a tee for you, and then you're hitting into greens that are wet, which they don't want it to be wet. I looked at some of the scores before. When Rory won, he won at 16 under, and then Tiger won at 270, which I think is a little bit. It's a par. If it's a par 71, that's like somewhere around. That's somewhere around between 16 and 20 under, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's all about on par, no pun intended, with what the past winners have been shooting there.
Kyle, the scores could have been better. David Duvall brought it up. They never did lift clean in place.
Oh,
And they could have. They
Yeah.
should have, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Friday they played it down. You're right.
Friday, they played it down after that monsoon that delayed them, and they still made them play it down, and they still were There still were course records tied on Friday.
But I'm like, but I don't care. Like the PGA Championship, that's to me that one's not supposed to be one that's like let's shoot one over par wins it. I want the best players throwing darts, making birdies, and they absolutely battled. Bryson and Xander battled, and it was epic.
No, I would venture to say the only tournament out of the majors that I expect to be hovering around par is the U.S. Open.
Yeah, and if it's really bad weather, the Open.
The Open, unless it's St. Andrews, because Kyle and I played the tips tonight, and I shot 4 over, and Kyle shot par.
Shot even.
From-
Easy. I saw the episode.
Here we go. Easy call.
The
It's
episode.
not easy.
The episode. This was we all did. This was when Nate was here. This was 2 years ago when they played. 2 or 3 years ago when they
Yeah.
played it. St. Andrews. There was no wind. It was like a summer day. The course was dry. I said this course is too easy for these guys when there's no elements.
So we played it that way today.
Yeah, and I shot even bar.
I shot 4 over.
Now it was a simulator, but still, I'm gonna put it in my gin. I'm gonna input it.
And honestly, I think we shot better than that.
I'm
Because
gonna
we
input-
had auto putts on, and they gave us a couple of 3 putts that I frankly don't agree with.
Now we might have got some 2 putts that
We could have.
we
You
could
may
have
be right. Yeah,
You're
but they
hitting it pretty
gave you
close.
an out of bounds that you weren't out of bounds.
Oh yeah, I got an out of bounds
On the road hole.
On the road hole, I was inside I was past the
You
green.
were inside the road.
I was over across the road,
No,
but
that was the walking path. That wasn't the road.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought I was across the road, but I was not outside that.
No, the brick
rock.
wall is where the road starts on the other side of it. Because remember, they'll hit against the brick wall to kick it back on the.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. Whatever that pathway is,
Yeah.
if that's the road or a pathway,
Just a pathway.
I was between the path and the fence, and it called me out of bounds. I had a
BS.
really good round going. But
Yeah.
anyway, I digress. What were we talking about? I forgot. Oh, yeah, majors.
Scoring majors,
Scoring
yeah.
majors. Yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind what we saw. It was, like I said, it was one of the best majors we've had in multiple years now.
Yes.
Bryson played phenomenal. It's crazy. I believe him when he said it in the press conference, not just gaslighting the Live Tour. I think it's made him a better player. I think it's given him time to really fine-tune the science stuff that he loves.
He has been one that's taken advantage of it.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about that. Everybody that complains about Liv, here's my issue. Here's basically my only, well, I got a couple issues with Liv because I'm still not big on the shotgun start. But the thing I got with Liv are the DJs of the world that don't practice at all anymore. They
Which he
just
did
go
come back
play.
and make the cut, which I was impressed.
He did.
Because
But
I was giving him crap after the first day.
he has literally said he doesn't work on his game as much anymore. John Rahm does. Clearly Bryson does. But the rest of them are kind of.
You got like 5 or 6 guys. I mean, you got John Rahm, you have Bryson, obviously, Patrick Reed,
Yeah.
Cam Smith, and then
I think Cam's still working on his game.
there was one more. There was 5 that I picked that were like, those guys are always going to challenge. They're always going to be. Oh, Brooks.
Taylor Gooch laid an egg.
Yeah. I mean, we knew. I kind of
Oh
saw that.
goodness, my dad said the best thing.
Oh, tell me.
Completely forgot about that. Can you imagine if they think that Scottie got all worked over being pulled over? What if Terrell Hatton got pulled over?
He'd have been.
They
shot.
would have. He would have electric chair right away.
Oh yeah. He'd have been deported.
If they thought that Scottie Scheffler was mean, if Terrell Hatton comes through there with his live gear on,
oh boy.
oh, I don't know that he ever gets out of jail. He's still there today.
Speaking of live, I want a live guy to win, but I did not want Dean Burmaster to win.
I did not either. When he was in contention,
He may be the greatest guy ever. He was absolutely lighting the course on fire. And then I don't know what he did Sunday. He must just not have played well on Sunday.
Kyle, I had to Google him.
He's from South Africa. I know that.
I know. I still had to Google him though.
Yeah.
Like when I saw him in contention, I was like, "Where the
He
hell
was-
is this guy from?"
I mean, he was lighting it up. And then it was like, dang, if I'm pulling for a live guy, but do I really want Dean Burmaster to be the guy?
I also owe you an apology.
All right. I'll take it.
He didn't know what it is.
Nope, I'll take it.
He'll take it. Kyle was all in on Bryson on PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I was not. I said it'll never happen.
You love him now, don't
I'm
you?
never pulling for him.
You love him.
Kyle. I'm never pulling for him. If I get that Bryson every tournament, I'm all in on Bryson.
I love him, man.
He has said all the right things. He has said the things that.
Did you see him when he
Wants
threw the
to-
ball? Did you see him throw the ball to the kid?
Yes,
And
I
then
retweeted it.
And then an older guy
I
grabbed
said this
it.
is huge.
Yeah. So he throws a ball to a kid, and then an older fan grabs it and runs off.
Jack leg.
And then he goes to the ropes and is hollering at him like,
Screaming
"Hey,
at him.
stop right there, stop right there." And he sat there until that guy brought it back and gave the ball to the kid. Gave the hat he wore Sunday to a kid in the stands. Like, man, I'd have kept that for a
Signed it for him.
Yeah.
Signed the bill of it for him.
Yeah, you have the signed, game-worn hat of the guy that finished second in the PGA Championship.
The guy that won over $2 million in the PGA Championship.
The YouTube stuff that he's doing is great. It's making him more likable.
Yes.
The Break 50 series is unreal. And then he's backing it up on the course, man. He can absolutely bomb it. He was averaging 330 off the tee.
He's still weird.
He is kind of weird, but
we
still.
all got friends like that.
Yeah.
Like he's
still likable.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He doesn't do anything to make you mad. Now, I still go back to the rope incident.
That was bad. That was tough. It's tough to overcome the rope.
That was a tough look on the
Yeah.
rope incident.
Big tough.
However, Kyle, he made up for it with the kid getting the ball back from the jabroni that took off.
That guy, that really
won some fans
that hit
over.
home for you, didn't it?
I got kids that have asked for stuff, and kind of, I'm just gonna say it pisses me off when adults like jump over the kids.
Yeah.
To get, we go to basketball games. The players will shoot the wristbands and their headbands.
Knocking kids out of the way.
And they're knocking kids over, and I'm just like, bro, you've had your time, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, they're all begging for it. Clearly, the player wants the kid to have it.
I noticed.
And then some jackleg knocks two kids over.
I noticed this too. So afterward, somebody tweeted this, and I thought this was interesting. They tweeted a screenshot of the different post-round interviews of the winners and maybe the top 4 or 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the views. And Bryson's views, like people that watched his post-round interview, was like double that of even Xander, the guy that won. So, I mean, Bryson is big for golf, and it was just great, man. It was really entertaining.
He congratulated Xander.
Yeah.
I didn't, and honestly, that kind of caught me off guard. And the reason being, I know Bryson's a good guy, but they kept showing him after he was hitting his driver and he's watching on the big screen, and Xander makes the putt, and he doesn't talk to anybody. He just turns and walks off. So I'm thinking,
He should have thrown a club.
So, I'm sitting there, even when he just turned and walked off, like he didn't talk to his caddy and give his caddy the club. He just walked off, and I'm thinking, oh, time to go to the car. Like, he's done.
Yeah.
And
he was going to find Xander.
he went to go find Xander. And so I was like, how cool is that? That he went and tapped him up. And so
Did you see the girl he got out of the car with, too? That won him a lot of fans, too. I don't know who it was, but she was pretty good.
No, I didn't. But we got more on that coming up.
Yeah, we got a little bit more on that coming up. We're going to shift gears. We're going to talk one more thing before we leave, but first we got to talk about bunkers. Tonight, guys, we had 2 new burgers, and they're going to start doing this like burger of the night deal.
Yeah.
and we had a burger of the day or something like that, and we had 2 of the ones they've been working on. Which one was called the beer burger?
It's a beer cheeseburger. Also, there is beer in the marinade for the meat
Yes.
that they hand.
Crispy onions, fresh jalapenos,
Bacon on that,
and bacon.
jalapenos on a brioche bun.
And that was I'm
Phenomenal.
a huge beer cheese guy.
That's
now.
his favorite. They gave us also a patty melt with mushrooms and onions, grilled mushrooms and onions.
Bacon.
And bacon on it.
On like a sourdough bread.
On a sourdough, like the thick Texas toast sourdough. That was my favorite. So that's why it's great when Kyle and I come here together, because they give us something, we split it. But it's funny that this is not pre-planned either. Like, it's funny that he likes one thing, I like the other for some reason. So fries are still great. We both like the fries.
The fries are phenomenal.
Because they have crispy fries, and they top it with a little shredded, is that mozzarella on it?
I think it's Parmesan.
Parmesan?
Parmesan.
Oh, it is Parmesan.
Yeah.
Parmesan fries.
But everything about the food here is great.
Then, as my wife calls it, they put a little glitter on it.
Put a little glitter on it.
What is it?
I don't know.
The green stuff that they sprinkle on top of it?
Parsley or cilantro or something?
Yeah, parsley. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
My wife says, "Are you gonna put glitter on it?" I'm like, "That's not what it is, but sure, why not?"
I mean, whatever you want to call it, it works. The menu here is phenomenal in general.
Yeah.
Got to come check out. If you don't even have time to play in the simulator, even though we just played 18 holes, 2 guys in an hour at St. Andrews.
Well, less than an hour, because I went up and had to talk to him about something for a second to make sure we knew it was coming. You got on the phone because you had a call you had to take.
Yep.
So we probably played 18 holes in 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Max.
So even if you don't have that much time, you just want to come try the restaurant, you got to, because it's the restaurant maybe even better.
Come on your lunch break.
Come on your lunch break. If you come on your lunch break, they do this thing where you can come on your lunch break and play the simulators for like $10 an hour.
Yeah.
So
that's all it's going to take. You play 18 holes and $10, eat your food, and then go back to work.
Yeah. And if you work, the parking's easy. If you got to get back to work, you don't have to worry about having to park somewhere super far off and walk. You can park right under the building. There's 50 plus parking spots. Walk right in, eat, play for an hour, head back to work. I mean, they just got stuff going all the time. So make sure to check out their social media, because they keep you updated with the specials. Weekends, they like to do a lot of music and different things like that. But really be watching for this burger of the day thing, because
Kyle's got a blood orange beer. I've got a blueberry flavored beer that I really was not keen on when she said that we want you to drink that. Yeah, I'm into that.
You into it?
Yeah, I'm all about
Big
that.
blueberry guy.
No, not really. I am now.
Going to Publix, going to get a bunch of blueberries after this. But no, definitely come check them out.
Publix, send the check.
Yeah, definitely come check out Bunkers. I mean, you have to come see it for yourself. Everybody that I talk to that comes, because they hear us talking about it, things of that nature, just tell me how much they love it. I know you probably hear a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
People taking their office parties here, group parties, all kind of stuff. Check them out. Bunkers.
Here's what I get.
Go ahead.
Because I do a show in the mornings on a local radio station. And so the people that come in, I kind of cheat a little bit. I put mine and Kyle's card up front. And, of course, that way, that's the conversation starter. They say, what is Dad Body Golf Button?
Yeah.
Hey, it's all about promotion. Send the check. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
And so they go, oh, that's right. You guys do your show from Bunkers. And the first thing they ask, these are business people that we interview from time to time, local business people, politicians, that kind of thing. So I get to tell the story. And so, if you got any questions, hit us up in the comments, because we'd be more than happy to tell you. Yes, we do our show from here, but we wouldn't continue to do it if we didn't like it. So we clearly believe in the product.
For sure. Bunkers, downtown Auburn. Check them out. All right, moving on to the last one, and I'm going to be honest, this last one makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Not me.
Ben really urged me to do this, but we're gonna go through it.
Well, first off, I've got a crush on one of them.
Yeah, Rory, right?
And it's not her.
All right, so Rory McIlroy, it comes out right before he essentially tees off on Thursday, or maybe it was a little bit before. It was right the week of the tournament. He's filing for divorce.
Monday. He wins Sunday, and he files for divorce on Monday.
He's filing for divorce. So I personally think that's strange.
Not only does he file for divorce, he makes sure to put it in the comments that he will also be enacting the
prenup.
Prenup. Like,
yeah.
So immediately, my head goes to, oh, she was sleeping with a tennis coach.
See, that's what I think. I would have thought she would have. She
or
cheated.
a gardener or pool boy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my head went there.
But it turns out, now this is all internet rumors and things of that nature, and
I love it.
And I do have a source that's fairly close to the situation, but I obviously don't want to even risk giving, messing that up.
No.
But their rumors are strong. And Ben confirmed this earlier, that this particular person that Rory may be having a relationship with has recently filed for divorce as recent as March. But
yeah, that was earlier in the year. The rumor started swirling with her because you guys know, you've read them by now. I mean, it's by the time this comes out, it's Wednesday. It's Amanda Balionis she used to work for Golf Channel. Now she's involved with the CBS broadcast crew and works with Nance and those guys. And it got brought. I forgot what tournament it was, but clearly, like I'm holding my mic here, she goes to do a post-round interview, and the internet goes bananas that she's not wearing her wedding band or her engagement ring.
yeah.
And so everybody's like, what's going on? So they immediately start questioning her. She won't answer any of the questions. She then kind of scrubs her Instagram. And not just that, she basically avoids any questions relationship-wise, which I get that. I mean, if she is getting a divorce, they're in court proceedings and everything. She can't come out and go, he's a jerk, or he cheated on me, or what. Like, that's not going to happen. So I get that. So then it becomes like official. She and her husband or ex-husband are no longer together. And so then the rumors fly this weekend, and it didn't help that after Rory finished on Sunday, she did not do a post-round interview with Rory McIlroy on Sunday.
I didn't notice that. But I did notice.
Oh, the internet noticed, Kyle.
Well, I did notice that on Sunday of him winning at the at Quail Hollow, they're wearing the same clothes basically.
They matched.
But he had them. If you go back,
and she looked a little flushed.
He had the little rose pink shirt, and she had like the exact same color.
They get to cheat on that because they go, that's for Mother's Day. That's what they did it for.
Okay, well,
I don't agree with that, but I'm just saying that was what they said.
You think they were throwing? You think they were like that's
throwing a hint,
throwing a little signal?
I think they were throwing a little signal out there for us. Now, I told Kyle, because he was afraid to talk about this, just because he didn't like to get involved in all that tea.
I don't want to talk about it in
public. My wife that I live with, she doesn't even watch golf. She's all about this.
I want to talk about it in private.
She's
not in public.
asking all kinds of questions.
I'm super two-faced.
So here
I'm mega two-faced.
Here is my thing about it.
I will only talk about you behind your back.
They're adults, yeah. And I will tell it to your face like I tell it to your back. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And so here's the thing that I had with it. As I told Kyle, I said, who cares? They're two consenting adults. The only thing that I worry about, so Brandon Chambly, best friends, me and Kyle, because he blocked us on Twitter.
Yeah.
When he started dating his wife, forgotten her name now, she went to Texas. I do know that. Everybody apparently at the Golf Channel went to Texas. But she had to resign from Golf Channel when he started dating her. Now, this is different because Brendel and her were working
Co-workers.
together.
Yeah.
Now, Amanda is, I don't even know if it's CBS that employs her. It may be like a group because a lot of those, I've learned this being in the business, a lot of those people are like just contracted by a certain like entertainment group that
I think
provides,
she's pretty much,
that provides the talent for them.
I think she's just pretty much CBS Golf.
So I think she is too. And so with Rory not being employed by CBS, but the CBS have a clause that you can't philander with the tour pros. I don't know. So I guess if we don't see her on television anymore, we kind of know where that's headed.
Yeah.
That maybe that's what happened. But as far as,
I still see Rory as like a 15-year-old boy.
I still want to bring back Fat Rory with the curls.
It's like how.
I just think he played better golf then.
It's weird for me. It's weird for me to even imagine that could be going on, because Amanda seems like she's like a grown woman, and Rory just still seems like a little boy to me. I don't know.
He's older than her, Kyle.
I'm sure he is. He's got gray hair. I mean, he's younger than me, barely, but he's got gray hair. Like,
She's a grown woman.
yeah, she seems like a full-grown, extremely attractive woman. And hey, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of shocked also. Like, he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't want that to get out because Rory's image is big to Rory. And you got your daughter, you got a daughter, and this if
But
his
kid's too young to know what's going on.
but it'll be all over TV, and she'll be
Yeah.
able to see. I mean, to be able to have that, it's like clearly it's going on as you're married. Like, it wasn't like it was like you broke up and then they're together. Like, clearly they've been seeing each other. If the rumors are true, they will have been seeing each other before he was divorced.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
You know what I think?
What?
She could have done better.
Amanda Balionis?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
See?
Heck yeah.
Kyle's with me.
Rory's not an attractive guy.
I said that, and my old roommate goes, "Nah, man, she's not that great looking." I was like, "What is wrong with you?"
She's pretty good looking, and Rory's not, in my opinion.
No.
But
Fat Rory with curls was better looking. He was cute then. He was a cute, pudgy kid.
But I wonder. I mean, I bet a lot of tour guys have probably taken a shot at her. I would
At
imagine.
Amanda?
Yeah,
Oh,
surely.
there. I kind of feel bad for her because anytime she's like nice to a guy, the press is going to run with it, and they're going to be like, "Oh, she's dating him. She's trying."
Do you
to go
think
out
it'll
with him."
come out? How long do you think it'll be out public if they're actually together?
Oh boy. I mean, she's going to dodge a bullet because soon they're going to head overseas because they got to play the Open Championship. So you'll go a couple of weeks with. She doesn't usually report during that time. She doesn't go with them. Hasn't in the past, because that's what one of my buddies brought up. He was like, they'll be able to avoid it for the next probably month or so if it's the real reason.
Oh wow!
With
So you
him-
think it's even that close?
With him enacting the prenup, it ain't like it's going to spend a lot of time in court with his divorce. I don't know if hers is complete or not.
I don't think you'll see them together if they're together. I doubt you see anything publicly for at least 6 months.
I told you, I think if
It'll be TMZ type stuff if they're seen together. And
so this is Twitter.
yeah,
All right, so take that with a grain of salt.
they were seen together somewhere. Or?
They weren't seen together, but it was one of those. My sister works for my cousin's restaurant out in California. Rory had zero business being out in California. Apparently, Balionis lives just outside of San Diego.
She seems like she'd be a
that is her-
California girl.
That is her home base. That's where she is. And he was up there to pick up to-go meals at a restaurant. Meals, not just for him. And that was when the rumors kind of started.
I think that's what I heard. He was picking up, either he or she or somebody was picking up to go, like two
Yes.
meals to go. Yeah.
Picking up to-go orders, and people put two and two together because, I mean, he's Rory McIlroy. I mean,
Yeah.
whether you think he's cute or not, people recognize who he
Sure.
is.
He's one, unlike Scottie, that's people even outside of the golf.
Yes, they know his face.
Community would know, yeah.
And so he's picking up food, and the only person that lives in that particular area is her. And then the
Well,
rumors.
a lot of people live there, but
Only female golf reporter that lives in that area is her.
he could be seeing any.
He could be seeing Jim
Female.
Nance down
Yeah.
at Pebble for
Yeah.
all we know. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I got a source from South Florida that
See, we made it coast to coast. Like
I know.
he's been seen in California and he's been seen in Florida.
I don't want to say he's seen, but like this person would know a lot
Yes.
that goes along with the guys that all live around that Jupiter area.
I
And
will say this from a personal standpoint.
he didn't pull any punches either.
No, he did not.
I said, "What's the story?" And
No.
he said,
Yep. Don't say what he said, please.
essentially, so and so is
Yes, I will
you
say
know
this.
whatting with so and so.
I hate it for him if it does come out before they want it to, because if it doesn't work out, that's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
She may lose, because when they start dating, she may lose her job and have to take a backseat on her job, and then if they end up breaking up, here she is unemployed.
I'm with you. I don't think she'll be able to do golf. She'll have to go do something else.
She
with
may become
CBS.
studio host for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let her do post-round interviews.
Rory loves Amanda. Be on the lookout for that. They already have matching tattoos.
It's already out at Torrey Pines in one of the trees.
They will be
They've
Facebook
carved
official.
it in the tree. Oh, yeah, Instagram official.
Before long.
I need to check her Insta. Maybe she's changed it.
Amanda McElroy. She will change her last name.
Well, yeah, it was Renner.
She was
before.
Renner.
Yeah.
She went right back to Balionis quick.
That didn't take long.
No.
What did that guy do?
I don't know. He screwed up. I say that. He may not have
You
done
know
it.
what? I think
he may have not done anything wrong.
Listen,
and
yeah.
it could have been Rory the whole time.
Could have been one of the PIF winners the whole time. We didn't know. I will say this, that if that's the case, because clearly everybody is pointing the finger at Rory's soon-to-be ex-wife, if she's not already ex-wife, that she was the one that kind of stepped away. And if this dude stepped away and she stepped away, bro, y'all missed it. Y'all just didn't understand the assignment when y'all went into this thing.
For sure.
I mean, when your significant other is making millions, there's some sacrifices you're going to have to make on your end. I'm sorry.
You got to.
Look at Kyle. Millions.
Yeah.
Look at me. I got to go see my wife right now. We have to get out of this pod.
Oh, I think that's enough for tonight. We've pretty much touched everything.
Plus, it made you uncomfortable.
You made me very uncomfortable. This story makes me uncomfortable, but it's worth talking about. But we really appreciate it. Guys, come check out Bunkers.
Also, if you guys want to share your secrets, love life, send it to Kyle, because he won't tell anybody, because he's just scared to death to get involved in something like that.
It makes me uncomfortable to talk about.
Or send it to me, and I'll tell him about it.
Ben will tell everybody about it, and I'll just be uncomfortable the whole time.
I'll tell you, when you start telling me, I say, open book. Do not go down that road with me.
But we really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Catch us next week. We'll be in the same spot, and definitely come check out Bunkers, and we'll talk to you next week. Let's see what happens. There's not a lot of interesting stuff in golf, so we may have to come up with some scenarios for next week or something like that. But
we may have like a video. We had a little challenge last time. We may have to take that more live, be a little more, do something fun next week.
We'll see. We'll work on it. But anyway, y'all have a great week, and we'll talk back again next week. It's episode 332 of the Dad Bod Golf Pod, and we're always stroking.